They are accused of living a life of luxury by defrauding seniors in door-to-door sales scams. David Common joins us now with an update on this OPP investigation. You might remember his CBC Marketplace stories about the scamming of our seniors. David, finally some arrests in a scam police say has been financially, emotionally, and physically devastating for the victims.
Yeah, no question about that, Dwight. And we call it a door-to-door scam, but that really doesn't do it justice. This is so much bigger and so much more allegedly malicious against the victims. There are at least hundreds of victims, and by some lawyers' counts, perhaps thousands across this province, going as far as people losing their homes completely as a result of this scam, people who are themselves extraordinarily vulnerable. The ones we met, often have dementia, other vulnerabilities. They're older, they may be disabled, they can have all sorts of compounding factors, and universally they feel they've been taken advantage of by those purportedly behind this scam. So let me walk you through it. They call it a door-to-door scam because very often it begins with somebody showing up at the door of what might be a targeted individual who owns their home. And they are convinced that there is an opportunity to renovate or to perhaps change out the hot water heater or the furnace or something like that. Sometimes they say they are told that the government will pay for it, that there will be rebates, that they'll be okay. But what they don't realize is that those who are, in fact, installing, sometimes in a substandard way, some of this new equipment in their home are placing a lien against their property. It's something that has been called a notice of security interest, or NOSI, and that gives them a claim against the value of their house. And using that claim, it gets really complex here, they turn it into a mortgage against the value of that house. And these are mortgages that these people cannot afford at rates they could never actually pay. And so that is the challenge. That's how people have ended up losing their homes purportedly in this scam. It is not known, frankly, how many people have been impacted by this, but it is a significant number to be sure. People who have lost their homes, and Dwight, people who could least afford to be victims of this scam very often.
We remember some of those devastated families from your story, some interest rates up to 25%. Are some of the people, David, police are now looking for or have arrested those featured in your Marketplace investigations?
Yeah, absolutely. So 2 people have been arrested, 3 others Canada-wide arrest warrants going on for them right now. Canada-wide might not be enough to catch them because in the case of one, Anas Ayub, who was featured in our story, a guy who hung up on me when I called him to confront him about this, there are some indications from lawyers and others involved in this case that he is no longer in this country. In fact, he seems to have abandoned a Lamborghini that was in his name in Mississauga and just left for the airport. Last people saw him posting on social media, living a very high life, was in Dubai. There is an arrest warrant should he ever return to the country, as well as arrest warrants for 2 others. And the police, after a multi-year investigation, OPP investigators, their serious fraud unit, will continue to look for those individuals as the case against the 2 people arrested in this country proceeds, Dwight.
Appreciate the update, David Common from CBC Marketplace.